ACCFR financial reporting is a key to success. Why do I say key to subject? Because a lot of knowledge is built up from past. I'll just give you an example. If you have, you know that one of your standard which you did in FR or F7, which you call, one of the most important standards was IS 16 PPE. Okay, that's a long standard, and it was one of the most important standards in FR paper. But when you come to SBR, and if you go and open up the book from BPP or Kaplan, and you want to see or want to prepare IS 16, you will only find 2 pages. That little short 2 pages. Because there is nothing new from FR. Whatever you have learned IS 16 in your FR paper, almost the same knowledge is applied here. There is nothing new coming in SBR. So a lot of times FR knowledge, which will help to, begin your preparation, knowledge which is coming from past, and then you build up the advanced level from SBR level. Syllabus exam tips part 1. Depth versus breadth. Cover entire syllabus. This is one advice. This is this phrase which I'm using, depth versus breadth. This same phrase, identical same phrase, you will listen from many tutors, me and many other tutors. We all use the same thing because this is something which comes from ACCA directly. ACCA says that in SBR, we are not testing in depth knowledge. We are more focusing on the breadth of the knowledge, which means that you should have reasonable, sufficient knowledge of all the standards. We don't want you to become a master or an expert in one particular standard. We want you to know all of the standard at some reasonable level. Now, I give you one example of this thing. Now, if you go to Vertex SBR course and within IFRS 9, financial instrument chapter, you will find one question video, which is from some SBR past exam paper. That question is for 8 marks. And in those 8 marks, the examiner is testing IFRS 9 financial instrument, IS 16 PPE, IS 37 provision, and IS 2 inventory. Now imagine for 8 marks, he is actually testing your knowledge on 4 different standards. So it means that 2 marks for this, 2 marks for this, 2 marks for this, and 2 marks for this. And of course, for 2 marks, he does not expect you to go and write down deep details. Probably it is just pointing out onto something, not going into details. For 2 marks, what details you can provide? So this is what I say, that a lot of breadth is needed. Yes, if you get one question, which is for 8 marks, and that question is only about explaining the control under IFRS 15. So if I ask you that how revenue is recognized under IFRS 15, explain me in 8 marks. Or if I say how control is defined under IFRS 15, and I give 8 marks. Now, how can you explain control? You would probably write down 2 sentences and you say that's all. So if you write down 2 sentences, you do not have that much of in-depth knowledge to justify the 8 marks. Okay, so this is where we say depth versus breadth, because a lot of questions will have like 1, 2, or 3 standards and probably 6 marks, or maybe 2 standards, 1 standard, maybe 6 marks. So 3 marks for this, 3 marks for that. So it's very important, therefore, what I conclude from here is that you have to cover the entire syllabus at least once. Yes, in the final round, when you go for revision, you will do revision for the selected topics. But at least one time you should go through the entire syllabus. Relationship between different standards and conceptual framework, this is very important, because once you understand, and which I focus on my video lectures, is why. So once you understand, I mean, if you only learn the standards, you know what to do. If I teach you the standards, you understand what to do. But if you are able to make a relationship between standard and the conceptual framework, then you understand why do you do it. Okay. So that is important. Third thing, which I would, yeah, question scenarios include multiple standards. I already have explained this thing. Focus on the following standard. Now, this is, like I said in the beginning, you have to cover the entire syllabus. But then I also know that not all of the standards are equally important from exam point of view. And also not all of the standards are equally important from your real life as well. Okay, some standards are more important. Some standards are relatively less important in our practice and also in exam. And by the way, exam usually is focusing on those standards which are more popular or more important from real life purposes, because ACCA is developing you people as competent accountants when you go to work. So if I have in my mind that this is a person whom I'm teaching IFRS so that he can go at work and apply at work, so then I should be focusing on those areas which you are expected to face at work. So therefore, we say that although we have to cover the entire syllabus, but there are some standards which we have to focus more, which means that you have to do more practice on them, which means that when you do your revision, you do more revision for them. And these are the standards: IS 12, which is tax, IS 19, employee benefit, IS 36, impairment, 37, provision, and 38, intangible asset. Now, if you pay attention, I did not include IS 16, PPE, and I also did not include IS 40, investment property. Now, these two standards are part of the syllabus. I have provided you with the video lectures, and we have done question videos on them as well, but they are not on our popular list. We will do those standards, but for revision purposes, we will put them on one side. When it comes to IFRS, IFRS 2, share-based payment, IFRS 9, financial instrument, 15, revenue, 16, leases. And finally, the standards from group accounting consolidation. And I can imagine, I mean, I can actually expect that if you do these things, this covers probably 80% or more of your syllabus. Or it is quite possible that all of your exam comes out from here, okay? But minimum 80% of the exam is from these areas. Here, actually, I wanted to add there are two second layer of important standards as well. Like I would say that IFRS 8, segment reporting, IS 24, related party, and IFRS 5, um, non-current assets held for sale. Please add these one also into the list. Add these ones also into the list. These are also important. Related party, IFRS 8, segment reporting, and IFRS 5, non-current assets held for sale, disposal group.